So I'm coming back as promised with some Daz games, and just want to say, Daz games, you are fucking awesome, and I hope that you see this, and I hope you react to my reactions. I hope you roast me and laugh your ass off about what I have to say, but I've never seen this before. I've seen like maybe 10 minutes of it. So that's not exactly true. I'm saying I've never seen it before. I have seen it. Like some of it. Just not all the way through, is what I meant. So getting right into the nitty-gritty. We're gonna start it. And
some say that we all have secrets, but how far would you be willing to go to bury them? That and many more answers are needed when we mention the Hellfire Caves, a network of man-made chalk and flint caverns which extend 260 meters underground. Situated in West Wickham, tales of devil worship and sacrifice, orgies under the guidance of the devil, gruesome murders of children, and many more lie beneath the hill of a church that doesn't seem like your ordinary church. Many of the mysteries here are confirmed, and many are still unconfirmed. But we do know that these caverns were built for mass sexual orgies of the wealthy and the famous. What happened down here back in 1748 when these tunnels were excavated? Today, we try and uncover the mystery. Or will one of the most famous paranormal sites let us down and be just a story? These are the Hellfire Caves, and this is Daz's Ghost Hunt.
I think I bumped my mouse.
It just closed.
Wow.
Here's the door that fucked that. Nah, I'm out. Was that you? No.
It was behind you.
Okay, so this is Willow, and you're going to be giving us our tour. And what can you tell us about the Hellfire Caves? Why is it here?
Why is it here? I mean, I can tell you pretty much everything, but we would be here all night. So, anyways,
Yeah.
A brief history is between 1748 and 1752. These caves were dug out, man-dug by about 100 men, basically to build the new main road between sort of West Wickham and High Wycombe, as it was used as sort of like a prop storage and also as a main sort of stopover for trading route between London and Oxford. That's the boring part, but well, some would call it. The sinister reason that the caves were dug is because Sir Francis Dashwood, who was the second baronet of the Dashwood family, he actually wanted this whole illustrious club that he had created called the Hellfire Club. Not the one from Stranger Things, I will say. It's definitely not a D&D club.
I made that.
Yeah, definitely not. They just used the name. So this club was originally created in the 1730s for more of like a fine arts, like, you know, illustrations, poets, music, and then very quickly became more dark and debaucherous. It was apparently rumoured to be a lot of sex parties, a lot of orgies, perhaps even human sacrifice and Satanism as well. So, if you get sacrificed tonight, it's not on me, by the way. Just letting you guys know.
We've signed a waiver.
It's fine.
As we headed deeper into the Hellfire Caves, our tour guide told us of some experiences that she's had in the caves.
This is where I've had my hair yanked against the wall, I've come up, I've had handprints on my clothes in chalk, I've had rocks thrown at me. Nothing, you know, not for the faint-hearted, essentially.
Yeah.
So this is
right.
in Sub-Anglical where our one death did happen. Unfortunately, her name's Susanna. She actually was stoned to death by 3 of the local village boys.
Oh!
So, yeah,
And she was
not very nice.
she was a barmaid, if I'm not mistaken, down in the line. What's it called?
George and Dragon.
George and Dragon.
Yeah.
That's where we like started off today. And yeah, she was meant to meet someone here, wasn't she? And then she was killed.
Yeah. So,
So, first of all, she's super cute. She's somebody that I definitely, if I was dating and I wasn't already taken, I definitely would date her, because she's got that goth look. I love girls. I love goth girls. But you know, I love a little bit. You know, as far as sexuality goes, I would say that I'm pretty, I'm pretty fluid. Let's just say that. I'm not gender fluid, but but in a way, as far as like my tastes, I don't, I don't discriminate. If it's a girl, if it's a guy, I think everyone's beautiful. So I guess in some aspect I'm pansexual, I suppose, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that, man. Obviously, that's not. I think we're many things. I think to some extent we love what we love, and we don't need to explain what it is. You love who you love, and you're with who you're with, and if that person makes you happy, then that's what counts. But another thing is, besides getting way off track there, oh, now I wish Daz wouldn't be watching this, because this is so embarrassing. Probably not. He seems super accepting. So she's super cute. She's super smart. I love that. Cute and smart. And I'm very impressed with Daz. I'm very impressed with you, Daz, because you seem to already know. You seem to already know that she was a barmaid. I mean, like, you did your research beforehand, and that's impressive. So, that's awesome. So, I don't want to drag this out any longer than it needs to, so...
Yeah, exactly, very... Well, see, it was mainly sort of thought late Georgian, early Victorian era. So yeah, she fell in love, essentially, very quickly with one of these lords from London that just passed through, because it used to be an old coaching inn. And then she received a letter underneath her door telling her to come up to the caves, that this guy wanted to run away with her. So she donned a lantern and a white dress, came up here. No one was to be found, but she did hear a voice calling from within the caves. She followed it. She got to the banqueting hall, which is our central point, and she found these local village boys, and they apparently burst into fits of maniacal laughter. So she, was so angry, she picked up some rocks, threw them at the guys. They retaliated, and one struck her in the head. And the story ends in different ways. Some people believe that she was, left down there, and her body was just eventually found. The one I believe, and the one most people in the village believe, is that the blow to her head didn't actually kill her, it only knocked her out. And eventually she came around and managed to find her way up to the surface, but then unfortunately passed away when she got to the surface.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not very
because I took you to the pub, and you wondered why I didn't.
You didn't tell me, I thought we were
No, I
going
didn't tell you that.
No, it's quite...
Curses, it's always curses.
Yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted. Now, she has been spotted at the pub. She's also said to not like men, so sorry, guys.
Cool.
She'll be fine with me then.
Not many people like us.
When you say she's been seen, have you?
Yeah.
In what way has she been seen?
She's sort of seen as sort of a white spirit sort of floating around. I mean, some people say I've not personally, I don't see much, but it's whatever you believe. But we get people coming up probably more.
Okay. I'm using my clairvoyant skills here. Which, just to be honest, clairvoyant skills vary from person to person. I think everyone is unique. Sometimes they put them in classes, but there are people that just physically will see spirits, and that is fucking amazing. I wish I had that gift. But I'm thankful for the gifts that I have, and it's kind of what you would know as something mental. I'm mental, as you can clearly see. But I can mentally look, and it's something that I've had to actually open my mind to. And because I grew up in a very restrictive home where things were just so, and even my thoughts were kind of monitored in a way. It was just like everything was micromanaged. So I made my brain like a fortress, essentially. But then I started kind of opening myself up to the spiritual realm, and I found out that I've had these abilities. It's just that I've had to squelch them because of I was very, very, staunch, conservative background, childhood, ghost hunting was considered like, why would you want to dedicate your life to that, but, I did my tarot readings and they said, yeah, you should do this. Not that I fully believe that a tarot reading is going to be 100% accurate, because obviously there's rogue cards and there's some things that I've had readings from another person that actually came out like, I would be like, is this for somebody else? Which can sometimes happen. Sometimes it doesn't tell your story, it tells someone else's story or a possible story, because it's really just like a devotional. It's just like a wake-up call. It's like, bitch, you need to do this and do that. But besides that, I opened myself up to seeing things, and I can tell you that I saw something. If you see the gate to the entrance there, I did see a woman in sort of of that era. It was she's a woman, she's completely white. There's no color except like a little bit of blue where the fringes of her dress are kind of a very light blue. So it just seems to be white and blue. So there is a woman who has a dress of that era. Her hair is down. It's long. Yeah, she seems like she's all cut up too. Like, she seems to like she's got something, definitely has like a mark, a smudge on her, on this side of her face. And she looks like she survived a bear attack, is kind of what was going on, or she climbed up a mountain somewhere. So she looks a little weathered, and that seems to corroborate with what they're saying. So there's definitely something there. It's already there, and my mind's eye sees it. And as a clairvoyant, sometimes things aren't always like right there in your face. Sometimes you can't physically see them. Sometimes you can feel them. Sometimes people are audio clairvoyant, which I am both visually and I am both visually and audio. So, and audio clairvoyancy is actually probably one of my stronger suits. Yes, it is very much like having an antenna, you know, and you can adjust it, but you can also turn the radio off. So you can also turn this off. I can turn this off. Now, there's certain things that are hard to turn off, especially when it's a very adamant spirit that wants to communicate with you. But, as I said, it's not something where it's just all of a sudden, you know, it's not like Ghost Whisper where it's there and you can't escape it. You can. And a lot of people do this. They shut off their abilities, and it doesn't kill the ability, it just makes it dormant. So in later years, you're going to find that, but the more you use it, the stronger it's going to be, the more open you're with it, the more accepting you are of yourself. Obviously, you know, it's gonna get better. So we're gonna move along. But there's something there.
In general, saying basically.
What's my point?
Obviously, down here you have to remember it is a cave. So sometimes if you get a bit, you know, it's sometimes lack of oxygen. Sometimes your mind plays tricks on you, especially with the echo. So that's something to always keep in mind. Especially, I mean, with the amount it drips as well. You hear it. Just the echo down there is insane.
So I say we get down in the cave.
Yeah.
Nah.
Go ahead.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We did actually have overnight here a few weeks ago, and one of their members actually did pass out in the temple.
Oh, someone passed out?
Yep, literally 2-3 weeks ago.
Her stories were shocking, but the air down here is thin the further down you go, and it can be a lot harder to breathe. If it were me, I'd say that was a much more realistic reason.
So this, we call him Humphrey. He doesn't exactly have, you know, historical significance, but he's just sort of there. This is where
Humphrey's just there.
He's just there for decoration. This is where they picked up all their tools, all their pickaxes and stuff when they came to dig out the caves.
Cool.
How are you guys with bats?
I love bats. I love them. I would have a pet if it wasn't for the fact that they're wildlife, and you know, they do carry rabies. They do carry some other things as well. But they're very gentle creatures. They don't hurt a lot of people, and they're quite endangered, and they've been endangered for probably since the beginning of time, because they only have one pup per pregnancy. So when a female has a pregnancy, they only have one child. You know, when rather with other animals and other mammals, like dogs and wild cats out there, they have like 3 or 4 per pregnancy. So they kind of keep the populace alive. But with them, it's very hard. It's very easy for them to, you know, a million bats might seem like a lot, but let's say 100 of them die. They very quickly become endangered, and it's very sad. But, you know, even 10 of them can make a significant impact on their community and their overall population. So if you see a bat, don't hurt it, don't harm it, don't try to kill it, because they are very good for the environment. They are pest control, so they're very much like spiders. They eat a lot of mosquitoes. They eat a lot of you know, they're good for us, and they're good for this environment. But please, if you see a bat cave, and it's not and there's not a superhero inside, please please don't go in there. The reason being is there is a whole kind of ecosystem in a bat cave that is purely for them, and it is very toxic to us. It is so toxic. There are bug droppings, and then there's the bat guano, and then there's a lot of parasites that are on the bottom that clean up that stuff, and they shit, and the bats shit, and what it does is it creates this very toxic fume that's it's so toxic that I can tell you that if you were to spend maybe like 5 minutes in there, you would start getting very dizzy, and once that reaches your lungs, it's very toxic. I mean, like, toxic as in getting chlorine, getting bleach and pneumonia, and wafting it. Now, a few seconds of that, I've gotten pneumonia. Like, one time I accidentally put some bleach in a kitty litter box, and it started smelling horribly. Like, all I know is there's this horrible smell that went into my mouth, into my nose, and I was like and I wanted to gag, but I couldn't because the smell was like choking the gag right out of me. So it just came as you know, like, I felt like someone was choking me. I immediately knew I did something wrong, and I decided to stop. What I forgot to realize is that cat piss has a very high concentration of ammonia in it. So, it sounds stupid, but you know what? I was 18 at the time. Like, I was not thinking. I was thinking bleach, right? Forgot about the content of the cat piss. So, don't do that. Don't do that at home. I did, and it wasn't fun. So, but bats are awesome. If you don't know, the more you know about them, the better. They're typically very small, and they are not usually a menace to anybody. But other than that, love bats. Love them. And, I don't think they're creepy. I think they're really cute. I think even the ugly ones are cute, so that's just me. So, how am I around bats? I'm fine. I've never had a bat come at me and get in my face before, but that's because I don't go in caves. But don't go in a bat cave. Don't go there. I don't care if some YouTuber went there. I don't care if some guy on National Geographic did there. He was putting his life at risk, and he could have died at any time. So don't, you know, it's probably, and also another thing is, you know, it was filmed in segments, probably, and they weren't there long enough to do any damage. But just because you see that and you think that that's cool, it's not cool. It's not okay. Leave them alone. just word of warning. Just leave them alone. Do not endanger yourself. I can tell you, yeah, this is not unless you're collecting bat guano because you're some sort of zoologist. Don't do it. And if you do, bring a gas mask. Bring a mask that can actually purify the air, something like that. Yeah, bring something. Bring an oxygen tank. I don't know.
Oh, I love that.
You fine?
Yeah.
Fine with bats? They'll probably be out tonight, so
Cool.
yeah.
Yay!
Fly at you. The bats fly at you?
If you scream, yes.
Just scream, I'll try not to scream. Ah!
Yeah, so if you scream, it messes with their echolocation.
Yeah. The bats, rats, and...
Well, wait, don't they at a certain point leave
Yeah, I'm
the
gonna
cave
scream
and
at them.
Go out at
Yes,
night?
so
First thing I'm gonna do is when I see a bat, I'm gonna
especially
scream.
people are down there because of the
Take
noise
them
that
in.
they're making. They do fly around a lot.
So yeah, they dug all this out by hand, right?
Yep, literally by hand. You can see in here the pickaxe marks and stuff that they
Are
would
these
have used.
original?
So these walls were probably redone when we opened to the public in the 60s, but it still shows the pickaxe marks and stuff, and you can see where they've, tried to reinforce the walls.
What?
Down in the banqueting hall, there are completely original walls.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you can see sometimes where it is red brick, where they have tried to reinforce it, and obviously we've not had any cave collapse in about 75 years.
Great.
So, like to keep hopeful, and you can see all of these notches on the walls. This is where they literally have steel bolts that have been, whacked into the hill to basically keep this place solid. So
He's gonna touch it. He's like,
The air is cold, so in places like this, where you look out for temperature drops, you can't really do that in these places because it's just naturally cold and
So it's
fruit
about
grass.
8 to 10 degrees normally.
Right.
So yeah, keep that in mind.
Right.
So this is called Whiteheads, and we have unlocked it. You are more than welcome to go in there. We don't normally let people, so.
So what is this?
So this is Whitehead's alcove. So the gentleman there in the middle, ignore the absolutely appalling wig, but this is Paul Whitehead. He was the secretary of the club and Dashwood's right-hand man. So this guy was very important in the club. So much so that this is where he sat. He used to take down records of the club, sort of took down their names, their addresses, their jobs. So if people went talking about the club, they could shut them up very quickly.
wait,
I might.
it said
Right.
So this is
something.
called Whiteheads, and we have unlocked it. You are more than welcome to go in there. We don't normally let people, so.
So what is this?
So this is Whitehead's alcove. So the gentleman there in the middle, ignore the absolutely appalling wig, but this is meant to be Paul Whitehead. He was the secretary of the club and Dashwood's right-hand man. So this guy was very important in the club. So much so that this is
So
where
it actually says it. He was born on February 1710 in Castle Yard, Holborn, where his father was a prosperous tailor. However, he spent a number of years in Fleet Prison for backing a bill which Charles Fleetwood, the theater manager, failed to pay. While in prison, Whitehead is said to have made his first literary efforts in the shape of political squibs. It was claimed that the monks would be scored by Whitehead on their drinking ability. Many consuming bottles of port and claret in vast numbers. Paul Whitehead, as steward, was the central figure, all such entertainment being arranged and recorded in the club's accounts. The so-called cellar book detailed on the members' consumption of alcohol for later settlements. So it's like, we're keeping track of how much you're drinking. How much is this? So let's calculate. You've had too many Cabernets and 5 rosés. Oh gosh, that sounds like a really long trip to the bathroom.
he used to take down records of the club, sort of took down their names, their addresses,
I just wanted to
their
see that and
jobs.
read that.
So if people went talking about the club, they could shut them up very quickly.
It's like,
Now,
I know how
people
many
believe
bottles of
that
rosé
Whitehead-
you've
it's
consumed.
Very much, you'll hear me say a lot.
Want
We
your wife to know?
cannot confirm or deny this because we don't know a lot. But why on earth did Paul Whitehead, 3 days before he died, order a massive bonfire to be built on his estate and every single one of the records to be burnt?
Yeah, I heard they can't, well, they destroyed all of them.
The records relating to this place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
who
why.
came and what went on and
Yeah.
everything.
That's why we don't know a
She's
lot.
clearly up to dodgy stuff.
Exactly.
We were
Yeah.
talking earlier, and normally, a lot of these clubs, you say there was like orgies and stuff. Like, do you think that a lot of these orgies they were like involved maybe like children?
Absolutely.
That's probably it.
Because there are some tunnels that have been covered up, so I literally grew up 2 minutes away in the village, and you get told stories growing up about that there's tunnels going from here to the manor house, here to Hewingdon Manor, and why on earth would they have had to build these massive tunnel systems underneath the village? Exactly.
Hide what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was. We'll show you a sign in a second. It was men of parliament, men part of royalty, all important people doing things they didn't do in the public eye.
I've also noticed as well. There's like
So it's actually not uncommon in a lot of these. So in cities to have these tunnels and caves. To kind of, I mean, there was orphanages that had caves underneath that they would hide children in, and so yeah, when you build a tunnel, it's assumed that you're doing something nasty. You're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Whenever you think of a tunnel or something that's underground, you think of something very ominous. You think of the Phantom of the Opera. You think of a lot of those things, and so. What I'm getting at is that this guy was literally like the Epstein of this time. He was involved with a little bit of everything, and just like Epstein had his hands in a lot of other things, and that's what made him... This really shows that if you have enough money, you can get away with just about anything. If you have money, and you have connections, and you have the right record books, as it says here, then you can just get away with anything. And if anybody tries to, figure out what you're doing, you just burn the records. You just destroy them. And you get rid of them. So that nobody can implicate you in anything. But as you know, we have ways of finding out about things. We have cameras now. We have technology, which can incriminate you instantly. And it's not... Well, not instantly. I wish it was that way. That would be great. But we have things that are just so readily available to us, even as we are. I've heard of the cases being solved by people who are just listening to podcasts. Okay, because things that would have stumped the police or the detectives or the investigators. So don't underestimate your own ability, and don't underestimate the ability of others, because we have ways of finding out your secrets. And but when you think of tunnels, you think, I'm sneaking past everyone. Because if you think about it, when someone tries to make a tunnel to escape a prison or something, it's a secret. It's a secret, and you think of something secret. Now, if there was anything involved with Satanism, I don't know. The only thing about that is, like, when you think of human sacrifices, people are like, oh, Satanism. So in some areas, yes, there are some Satanists that may have human sacrifice, but those are people that are not heavily affiliated with the Church of Satan. In fact, the Church of Satan is very sensitive about, rumors being spread about them. They actually do not appreciate when someone comes up and says, oh yeah, you probably, sacrificed children or something. And they will probably, if you just ask them questions, they will be more than happy to answer your questions. They're very approachable people. They're very nice and pleasant, and they sell snack foods. They have parties. They're very sophisticated. They're just like any other person, really. They may have some rituals that they do in secret that require the consumption of blood and that kind of thing. But it's usually not to the harm of the individual. But I can tell you, there's been a lot of people that have gone to the Church of Satan and actually found their way. They found a place to be. And I think we're all looking for a place of belonging, and really that's just what Satanists are. I don't feel threatened by them. I don't feel that they are bad. I don't think they're evil. I think they are possibly misled in some ways. But I think they're just trying, they believe in the pursuit of knowledge. They believe in actually aiding humanity and helping it and educating people about not only themselves but about the world around them. And they very much believe in themselves. It's not so much that they worship Satan, they worship themselves. I remember saying that. I was like, I pretty much think that I'm kind of, I said something like, well, I kind of believe that, I am a god in a way. And so someone asked me, and they said, so you're a Satanist? I was like, and I kind of, like, I figured out what a Satanist was, and I was like, yeah, I guess it kind of does make me sound like I'm a Satanist. But, whatever I am, I do what I do for the good of mankind. I do what the Illuminati do. I do what that is, which is the Illuminati actually have something which is really nothing to do with Satanism, by the way. It's more of, they take some Satanist rituals. They do some Satanist rituals, but they're more like fake magic rituals, blood drinking and stuff. And killing a snake, and of course, some orgies. So, they have that. The Illuminati is like, they're like party people to me. You go to a party. I wouldn't mind going to an Illuminati party. It sounds cool. It sounds fun. But yeah, really educate yourself about people, because people are people regardless of what they represent, regardless who they worship. If they're not posing a threat to you and to your family and to your community and to you, they're not somebody that you need to be worried about. In fact, the Church of Satan actually sued Netflix for The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, as they said that it didn't really represent them the way that they wanted to be seen. So this is why I know that they don't take kindly to when people, try to identify them. And when you take a small community, like I've heard of people being in a community where, there's this one guy that was sitting, he was a freaking creep, by the way. And he's like, oh yeah, those Satanists, they're no good. And I was like, why? He said, well, where I live. And it was someplace in California. And he said, yeah, I took this girl home because they were kidnapping young women and sacrificing them. And I was like, okay, that is that area, okay? First of all, mainstream Satanists aren't doing that. I can assure you that. Don't trust fucking Mel Gibson to get your information, or Twitter, or Reddit, because I can tell you real Satanists are keeping to themselves. They're not pushing their beliefs on other people. They are pretty secretive about what they do, and I haven't heard any Satanists doing anything to hurt anybody. When was the last time you heard Satanists are doing that? You never hear about it. You never hear about it. And I think there's a reason for that, because maybe they're just decent human beings and they actually care about humanity, People are people, and you don't need to be a Christian to be a decent human being. You can be an atheist and be a good person. You can be, I know atheists that are good people, And when you live in a world that's so unsure, that's so evil, why believe in some faceless, nameless God and blindly follow that? I understand why people are atheists, I understand that. I don't judge people. And as I said, if you worship Satan himself, I'm not going to judge, because if you're doing good to humanity and you're treating people like decent human beings, and you are a decent human being, then I don't have a problem with you. But yeah, Satanism does not really have to do with sacrifices and that kind of thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think they would want to kill people, because for one thing, if they want to have followers and they're killing humanity, that might serve as a problem. If you're part of a cult, if you're part of an organization or a religious movement and you start killing people, you're killing potential followers, potential people that could actually help you and add to your group. So killing people is not on the agenda. I don't think it says, I think I must kill a couple of children. And also I need milk. you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think that's on the to-do list.
I've never seen this pattern in stone before. It's like almost like veins, like a tiger, or it almost looks like carvings. Is that just the rock?
So it's just the chalk and how it's been, filled with dust over the years. I mean, obviously you can see all the moss that grows on the walls.
Just creating all these like lines. It just looks fake almost. Like it's crazy.
Can confirm it's all real.
The effort they would have done to do this.
Yeah.
Right? Stuff going on here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
You're hiding something. If you build a cave or you buy an island in history, it's just never gone down well, has it? When a bunch of rich people get together and build something.
Pausing this again, if you're hiding something, and that's another thing, how people are talking about, these secret societies are, they're doing child sacrifices and they're doing this. How do you fucking know? First of all, you haven't been to an Illuminati meeting. Have you been to a Satanist meeting? Have you attended their services? Have you done that? You don't know. Have you actually taken the time to become a member or to actually research it? Then I don't know. So I don't know for sure if they do or do not. But I don't think it's okay to go around telling people that that's what they do when they did it in this one area. Those are freaking psychos that then think that they can murder people just because they have so don't be talking to me about Satanism and Satanists and how bad they are when there are literal Christians for hundreds and thousands of years that have been killing people in the name of Christ. Okay? Yeah. No conscience whatsoever. They just killed them because, they're not Christians. So don't be thinking that you're this pious individual saying, "Oh my gosh, the Satanists." No, you know what? What's been around longer than Satanists? Christians. So don't be holier than thou and educate yourself, and also realize that these people were doing this secretly. They were making their own little cult. They were making something that probably was very, very far from Satanism itself. And they were doing this hiding purposefully. Satanists, on the other hand, they are accessible. If you want to know information about them, you can go out of your way and talk to them. You can go there. Like there's actual churches you can go to, and they will actually show you around. They have these beautiful they're all in red, and it's just exquisite what they do and what they put in their churches. I've actually seen some of them around, and they're very friendly, very uppity. They seem really super positive, and I think it would be fascinating to interview someone that was a Satanist, because I would like to see what they believe. What do they believe? What are they doing? Because in some communities, they are very supportive. They are very much pillars to their community. And they don't shun anybody. They will help people that are in need. And that's really that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is just like, I don't really care. I don't really believe that there is a Satan anyway. So it's like, I love people for being people. And if they're good people, that's all I care about.
Paul Whitehead would sign people in, but he'd also give them their costumes for the evening. So men would dress as monks, women would dress as nuns, and Dashwood himself would dress as the Pope. I love your face.
So, wait, they dressed up as respectable figures?
Yeah.
So
respectable?
Maybe, from the outside,
what?
if anyone was looking in.
Respectable figures. Okay, do you know anything? Okay, no judgment on you, Daz, but the Pope is not a respectable figure. I'm sorry. Do you know the history of the Pope? The Pope that killed millions in war and put people on stakes and tortured them and told them that they couldn't worship their God in the way that they wanted to. And he still continues to segregate people. And nuns, no, I know for a fact that there were some nuns that actually tortured and beat children. They tried to conform Native Americans, and then of course we have the monks who I know were they were whores, okay? And if they couldn't fuck the nuns, they would fuck themselves. If the nuns were off someplace else, they would just, you know what? I see see a need, fill a need. There you go. Literally. And I know this from, there was actually a book that was written, and it was called, I Was a Catholic Priest, and it was told, and everybody in that, besides himself, was literally just bringing prostitutes to their bed. They were performing sodomy with one another. They were, they seemed to be respectable because, they could some of them could read. I guess that's respectable enough. They had money. they had cavities, they had rotten teeth. So that means they had access to fine liquor and sugar and all that. So, yeah, it's because they were richer and they seemed to be smarter. But they weren't reputable. I can tell you that. They appeared to be reputable. But in the long run, they just exploited the poor and exploited anyone and everyone. And this is no reflection on nuns and priests today. I know there's good priests. I know there's good nuns. I know there's good people out there. There's good people everywhere, okay? But I'm just putting it out there that they're not reputable. They're not as reputable as we think they are. They're people. And the fact that they claim that they represent God is a problem because they're sitting there, fiddling with a young boy. So, it's like, how reputable can you be? I'm gonna say you're reputable because you help people in your community, okay? A reputable person to me has a reputation of being good, of having a good reputation. And a majority of priests and nuns, especially going back historically, have not been very reputable. I know I'm going on about this, but I'm just going to say priests and nuns and the popery actually just appears to be reputable. But they have a lot of secrets. They have, Catholicism has more secrets than I think the Illuminati, than any of the other, the Masons, the Satanists, that they have more secrets. I mean, they have things that we probably will never know about. And there's just so many secrets that we aren't even told. So, they're not reputable. The same.
They would just see, there's a priest, it's a nun, there's nothing's going on there because they're people of the cloth.
Because they
there's nothing going on.
Abbey, which is about 20 minutes away. So this beautiful abbey, they used to meet there, and they used to have they called them full chapters, these meetings, and then eventually, maybe because they got a bit out of hand, they moved them underground. So.
Yeah, they definitely did some shit. This is crazy. This is like, and a lot of this stuff is now taking place in like Hollywood and stuff. It's just things haven't changed.
No.
It's just history repeating itself.
I mean, we kind of call it like a Georgian lockdown party sort of thing. All these important figures doing things that they don't do in the public eye.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and another thing about Hollywood is not as demonic as you think it is, okay? The real demonic stuff are the producers that get away with raping their co-star, you know, the actresses. There is not any I can guarantee it, okay? I have looked, I have searched, and maybe that doesn't mean anything, but there is not a lot of child sacrifice going on in Hollywood. I don't know who told you this, but that is misinformation that was started by Mel Gibson, who is fucking crazy, by the way. He went all ultra religious. He started drinking a lot, and he started actually like saying these things. And then there was Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly that started drinking each other's blood. Those are rare cases. That is not what's really going on, okay? Unless people are being paid off, I'm just gonna say, if you were going, I'm just saying, children in this day and age actually have value now. So why would you kill children? Why would you sacrifice them? It doesn't make any sense, because that's a potential worker. That's a potential person that you can exploit for money. So why would you kill the children? Doesn't make sense, because Hollywood is based on making money. So if you kill people, there you go. So that's just logically speaking, it is not convenient, nor is it logical for people to have child sacrifice. I'm sure it happens somewhere, someplace, in an abandoned alley somewhere where nobody knows about. I'm sure that there's somebody, maybe there's a child that's been sacrificed, but I'm going to say children are exploited openly in the public and nobody does anything about it. But you're worried about some kid that's getting their, you know, that might have died yesterday. Okay, I'm really sorry if that happened to you or happened to someone that you knew, or obviously you weren't sacrificed, but that's not reality. And Hollywood has its secrets for sure, but really, to be honest, if something's secret, why the fuck are you worrying about it? Why are you worrying about it? If you're not involved and it's not threatening your life, it's not affecting your life anymore, just, you know, don't worry about it. It's fine. You know? So here we go.
That is the urn that his heart was placed in. That is the original.
What? That urn?
Yep. So when Paul Whitehead died, he left two things to Sir Francis. He left £50 for the deposit of a marble urn and his heart. Nothing else, just his heart. Again, if you have a look, you're more than welcome to go up close to it. The image that's on the front of that urn, what does it look like?
It's two men holding hands.
In a very curious embrace.
One in front and one behind, so there's a bit of a spooning going on by the looks of it.
No, I would say he's
Straight forward.
For the viewers, just to...
So many people believe that Paul Whitehead and Sir Francis Dashwood were quite a bit more than friends, because the club's motto translates from Latin to
no,
"Thou
they're
wilt,
not spooning
do
each
what
other.
you want." And
Did you just see that? They're not spooning. No. Does anybody not know what men do after they get home? You know, everybody knows about it. They don't talk about it. But it looks like he's nailing him from behind. It looks like he's kind of going, okay, I'm coming in. You know, like, that's what it looks like. He is fucking him from behind, okay? Yeah. So, no judgment. No judgment. I don't care which entrance you go through. Love is love, you know, but it's just kind of nasty when it's like these two guys that probably did something to children. I think what makes it so sickening is, like, when people don't have restraints and they just fuck anything, you know, anything, and then it's just a bit of fun. No, it's not a bit of fun. If people are being hurt and people are getting abused, this is not fun. It's not okay.
The Five Club most definitely did do who and what they wanted.
Yeah, it all sounds like a... But it's how, when people, like, do this stuff, they have all these cryptic clues and stuff like that, but it's obvious what it means. I
Yeah.
wonder why they
Right.
do this shit to begin with, because it's going to get figured out.
I mean, you think in Georgian era, it was all about being that high, reputable member in society. You know, it was all the fancy powdered wigs and all the illustrious, you know, brightly coloured clothes. So, you know, they almost do this in, you know, to emphasise the fact that they're going against society and going against religion at the time. You know, almost just to be a sort of rebel.
Yeah, these are the faces I was talking about, darling. Like these faces here and over here.
So again, it's, you said, you know, they dress up in this religious garb, but why on earth is, you know, they've got this cross?
Oh, wow. So, okay, there's a lot going through my head. It looks like fucking Odo, for one thing, from Deep Space Nine. I hope somebody comes in and edits that and says, Odo! And puts that right in the corner. That would be hilarious. That would be really funny. But it also looks like maybe my mind is in the gutter here, but it looks like they were using this for other purposes. Like, I mean, was this a I mean, if there's a carving on marble of one guy nailing another guy from behind, what do you think this is for? I mean, look at their holes, for crying out loud. I mean, what do you think a guy's gonna do? What do you think? Maybe I'm just a horrible person and my brain is in the gutter, but...
Yeah, that's very culty,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And then that face there is meant to represent Sir Francis. I mean, they say it looks like the Pope. It obviously looks like a bit more
Oh
mysterious.
my
but
god.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Because you look at this stuff and you're like, this isn't like religious. This is weird. This is like, it doesn't fit in with anything, does it? This is their own thing.
Make it up as
clearly.
they go along, yeah.
It's all about significance as well. You think the way
It's
that
just
that's
cult.
placed,
It's a
that's
cult.
where people used to sign in, and then here,
That's the
men
thing.
used to go to the left, women used to go to the right, and they.
That's what I don't like, is when people are going, oh my gosh, it's like the Satanist thing, and it's just like, no, it's called a cult for a reason. It's not affiliated, it's not a religion, it's not... And there's people that even believe that religion itself is a cult. So, don't affiliate yourself or affiliate something with Satanism, with Christianity, with anything, and as if that's the norm. That's not. This is purely a cult. This is a satanic, Satanist, inspired cult. It is not to be affiliated with the actual Church of Satan, because I can assure you that's probably not what they're doing. I don't know why I'm supporting Satan so much today. Sorry. I just like to support people in general, I don't want people to be derailed in public and get, when, it's just like, I just don't like people being being judgmental about people because they are associated with something, when that's not their entire lives. They do other things. You do other things in life. You go home. You take your pants off one leg at a time. There's not, and people just, they overemphasize the mystery and they demonize things to the point to where things are just, we don't know what we're talking about. And I think I realized a lot of what was taught to me as a conservative Christian was wrong. It was very wrong. It was not entirely just lies. It was literally saying just the right kind of information that would make the Illuminati, the Masons, and the Satanists look really bad. But then you delve deeper, and you realize these are just people. They're not demons. They're not evil. They're just people, and they deserve just as much respect as the next person. And it's okay, but these kind of people, well, not him, not Daz, but these people that do this, they're atrocious because what they've done. You know, it's disgusting in the way that they were so unhinged and so bizarre and so just raw and just there was no boundaries here, obviously. That's why they burned a lot of that, to kind of cover it up. I just can't imagine. It just makes me sick to think that people like this did this and committed murder and raped children and did things like that. And I can't imagine being a child and being in that situation, not being able to get out of that situation, not knowing if you were going to live or die. I can't imagine how terrifying that must be. But I've heard from people that have had that happen to them, and it breaks my heart that people would do something like that to a child, you know? We're supposed to protect them, we're supposed to love them, we're supposed to encourage them and nourish them and make sure that they are safe. But if a child no longer feels they're safe, wow. That's deep.
Their designated partner for the evening. So it's almost like Dashwood's surveying the prey that's coming into the
I guess
front
men
of the
should
night.
go this way, right?
Yeah, well, there
Maybe
you
go
guys.
that way.
Where you guys go?
What happens if you go the other way?
I don't judge gender identity.
We'll find out.
I've done many ghost hunts at this point, and I've had many tours by many guides, but somehow I wasn't lapping up the stories and could find a reasonable explanation to all of them. I was starting to think that maybe this place wasn't all it was cracked up to be, as we went further down into the caves and found evidence of sealed up hallways never to be seen again.
Why hasn't anyone ever taken this down to look?
Unfortunately, with the nature of chalk, it's such a collapsible rock. Literally, if you chipped away this
because
wall,
they're afraid it would collapse.
yeah. And here is an image I'll show you. This is a scan that was done.
I saw this scan on
Yeah.
Google, yeah. So this scan is literally, there's the church and mausoleum on top and the ruins underneath.
That is just
Yeah, this is all
spooky.
sealed up.
So spooky. Look at that.
There you go. Welcome to the banquet hall. Yeah. There you go.
Whoa.
There's a reason this place is my favourite. So this is the largest man-dug chalk cavern in the world. 60 foot up and 40 foot across. In the
Wow.
world.
Wow. And what would they do in here?
So this was the main meeting room. So they used to have a massive oak table in the middle. They would have, all these illustrious fruits and wines and cheeses and meats, that sort of thing. Claret obviously was a drink of choice. And they would also have a band playing, apparently, because, that was what would set the mood. And these 4 alcoves used to have curtains drawn across them and beds inside them. And you can see on the bases of these alcoves, tally marks that are original.
Ah. And what do these, are these, feet?
So you can see them on the base, and you can see them also in the walls in there as well.
What do they do?
They signify the amount of people that had sex in these alcoves.
He's like, oh, Daz is just like, oh yeah. Well, you keep track. It's the body count. That was the body count. I'm sure they had the body count for both deaths and sex counts. He's just like, his eyes are probably gonna pop out in a few moments. But yeah, it makes sense that you would keep track of that. I mean, you wouldn't want to keep track, In some cases, a lot of times sex is a business transaction, so, you keep track of it. You keep track of what goes on, and so there is kind of a logical and convenient way of doing that. But yeah.
Well, that's a body count?
Yeah.
Is a body count? Yes.
This is a body count tally. Yeah.
The list.
Jesus.
A word to the wise as well. We're directly under the graveyard, so if you get dripped on, it's body juice.
I have got dripped on. It's not
There
body
you
juice, it's
go.
rain.
Yummy.
Yeah, it is a bit drippy, like water, I imagine, finds its way down here.
Yeah.
And they would have had to, there's a skull over there.
Yeah, so again, that's something that was carved into the walls down there, you know.
What?
More glory
Like,
holes.
it's like me
Yay!
when I was 13 and I was like goth and just putting skulls everywhere for the sake of it. It's like they're trying to be this satanic cult. It just seems a bit like desperate and
Yeah, a bit over the top.
cheesy
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yet again,
Making it so
confirming.
obvious.
Yet again, that's confirming my theory is that there's a lot of people who go out of their way and they try to say, oh, I'm a Satanist, you know, I do these satanic things, and you know, they drink blood and shit, and they do things, and there's been some people, I know that there has been some murders that have been done where they started off, you know, having like this vampire cult where they would drink each other's blood, and then that would quickly go sour, and you know, that person ended up, like, I've heard of like rare cases happening where this one guy, he started off drinking blood, and then he ended up murdering a 15-year-old and chopping her up and putting her in soup. So yet again, there's some of these things where they're not doing anything that's hurtful, but when you're, you know, goofing off with a bunch of friends and you're like, who's Satan? You know, you're doing that. But things can quickly go sinister when you have somebody that's in the group that's very unhinged or is just on the edge of psychosis or the edge of madness, so to speak. You can see how quickly, like, human nature can be so corrupted so easily. And it just takes one little taste of sin. It just takes one little sip, and then you know it, you're drinking the whole bottle. So it's really just, it's horrible what humanity can do. And just from a little bit of information about Satanism, they can create something very evil, very maybe even so more evil than any Satanist would ever, you know. I don't think Satanists ever claim that they're evil. Like, they don't go out of their way and say, evil, man, I'm evil. No, they're like, hi, how you doing? My name's Mark. I work here. You know, it's like, it's the reality of the situation. You think of, oh, Satan, and then you see some really nice guy that comes up to you and says, can I offer you a snack? Like, you know, that's the truth of it, you know. Your expectations versus reality. And I think that would be interesting. I wouldn't mind visiting, like, a Church of Satan sometime, because that would be interesting. Because I'd like to see what they do and learn about what they do and see what goes on behind, you know, closed doors. Because then I could come to you and I could actually tell you what really happens. You know, I'd be like, yeah, I was part of one last week. It was fun. I don't know if I'd actually do that. I don't know if I would be brave enough, but maybe I would. Just for exploration's sake, maybe then I can actually say, you guys are just you're scared of nothing.
Exactly. It's, you know, why would they put it underground if they were being this, you know, point blank about it?
It's crazy.
So past this point, back in the day, is where only the 12 main brothers of the club were allowed. So they called themselves
They were like
brothers.
that.
So they had a hierarchy system.
Right.
They had superior and inferior members, they called themselves. And these superior members were apparently only allowed past this point. So you can see the remnants of the old door hinges as well on the walls. And past this point is apparently when you get to the inner temple. You have to cross the river Styx to get to the inner temple. And that's apparently where they did a lot of their sacrifices and rituals. In here was more, you know, the happy-go-lucky parties and orgies. Down there is where apparently all the stuff happens.
So literally in there it's just the Illuminati, and in there it's just crazy cult shit. It's like, we've got this fancy Illuminati party over here, and then just over there is, oh, we don't want to go over there because it's hell in there. It's the Hellfire Club.
Who they were sacrificing to? Was it Satan? Or is it not specified?
So there is a story that brings about the end of the Hellfire Club, which tells that they were apparently summoning the devil in that meeting. So whether it was, specific demons, or whether it was just, this idea of Satan or the idea of the devil, We know they had the orgies, we know they had the sex parties. They were, again, rumoured to have the largest collection of satanic and pornographic material at the time, physically formed, and they just apparently passed them round to each other to get themselves in the mood for these meetings.
Any bodies found down here?
Nothing.
Right.
That we know of.
I was going to say that they know of, everything was burnt, so
Yeah.
they would have hidden everything, wouldn't
You
they?
don't think maybe, when they were, exhuming it for the public, or, maybe in history, if a chunk of wall fell off and they found a body, the family would have maybe want to keep it hush, you don't know.
Whatever you think about this location, you can't deny that it's immersed in a mystery, knowing that there were many debaucherous acts of sex and violence and possibilities of sacrifice. This cave should be a beacon for activity, and I was amazed at the lengths people would have gone to keep such secrets. And as I was setting up for the hunt, I got my first piece of potential evidence.
Was that you?
Ah!
Just got some B-roll here for the video, for the edit, and the light is, we turned this on for, special effect, but I just caught 2, maybe 3 taps to the side of me, and I've looked for junction boxes, anything that could have made that sound.
Okay, did anybody notice, and I'm sorry, did anybody notice? Oh, we'll go back there. We'll go back here. But I'm wondering, did anybody notice that particular statue appeared to be crying? Like, it was, the way that the light was hitting, it looked like a streak of tear. It may be just the reflection of, the wax and stuff, or whatever that's made out of, but it appeared to be crying, like, just visually speaking.
But I'll look back at it in the edit and see if we can find out what that was.
Yeah.
All right. We've just set up equipment for the night. There are now cameras all over this cave system because we want to capture as much as we can, if anything at all.
Right.
So much about this place that is unknown and so many stories, but I'm hoping we get something tonight. We're going to work our way down now. Lights have been turned off. We've decided to go lights off straight away, and we'll go down to the banquet hall. We're going to go down to the banquet hall where they would all meet and have their orgies. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go there.
We're definitely not going to do that,
we're
are we?
not. No. Yes. Subscribe.
We turned all the lights off, got all the equipment ready, and we're now ready for the hunt to begin. I wasn't sure what we would catch in these caves, with bats flying everywhere, drips and drops hitting the floor, so it would have to be concrete, if any at all.
Now this is where I heard a bang earlier. Still haven't heard it. I've been coming back and forth. Let's get down to the banquet. God, this is really such a different place in the dark.
This is the Whitehead. Should we ask for some stuff here?
Yeah, this is Whitehead. Like, this was the first location, and his heart was found in this jar, which is insane to me. I think that should be like locked up, safe, away from weather, because it's quite an historic thing. But is this camera on?
It's not on yet. No, we'll put that on when we leave.
Oh, you think that should be locked up? Oh, yes. Who is going to pick up a pure marble urn, which is pretty heavy, by the way. Marble happens to be pretty dense and pretty heavy, as far as density goes. But it's used to be very hard to work with. Now we have better tools that are a little bit that are make it easier to shape. But I don't know, if I was wandering around the caves and I went around and I saw this, one-of-a-kind urn that has probably someone's ashes in it and has some homoerotic art on it, that would not be the first thing that I would want to take. I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the next room. Why would I want to take something that had a human heart in it? No. No, Daz, no. No, it doesn't need to be locked up because nobody's going to take that. No one will take it. No one will have it. No one will say, ooh, let me put this on the mantelpiece of my fireplace at home. No one's going to do that.
Put a camera on in this cell later to see if we can get anything. But maybe we should ask for Mr. What's his name?
Paul Whitehead.
Paul Whitehead. Okay. Paul Whitehead. Are you here with us? Trying to stay still. Is anyone here with us?
I hear yes.
Just
Somebody
in case
is
that's
there.
picked up on the audio. Do you want to go in there?
Yeah, should I go in?
Yeah, because they let us in.
So, all I'm feeling right now, like, I feel like something is vibrating my, like, my headphones right now, and it's not because of the sound. It's not because of the sound. I know you could probably say, oh, it's just the sound, but no, I feel like something was very much present there. I can see it, I can feel it, so there's something there. I don't think it's Paul Whitehead. I don't know what's there, but we'll see.
Almost looks like a prison. Like all these shelves and stuff. It's like coming down this far, this would be before you get to the banquet where all the action sort of happened. And then below that, that's where all, I think, the evil action happens. So, like, what were these rooms used for? I think she said you would sign in here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think you'd sign in. So, was it Paul Whitehead was the...
Yeah, he like...
kind
He
of
was the
co-owner
bookkeeper.
or something like that?
Yeah, he was like
would-
a co-owner, he was a part of it, and...
Very close friend with Dash.
Account. He
yeah,
was
very
a
close
scribe.
friends with Dashwood himself. So, and I think he signed everyone in, and then maybe went down there after everyone arrived and joined in the evil activities. So,
The evil activities. I like
I
how he
don't think he
says
looked
that.
like that though. Is anyone here with us in this cave that wants to communicate?
I hear a yes. Like, there is an absolute yes. My clairvoyant skills are saying yes. Like...
It's like dead quiet.
It's really
isn't it?
quiet, I was gonna say.
Dead quiet.
Yeah, really quiet.
It's so still in here, so...
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, and there's like, not even when you stand out in the central shaft, I can't feel air or through
No, there's no
drafts or
breeze.
anything,
No.
so that's good. So everything's so still. What did you hear?
We both heard something from him.
Down where?
Is anyone down there?
I hear like, oh yeah, I'm down here. I hear something saying that. Oh, there's something there. Oh, there's fucking something
Can you
there.
hear me?
Yes, he does. Well, my clairvoyant skills says yes.
It's a bit too quiet, I think, though. It's like the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
A little mouse.
That sounded like a
Alex is
Wouldn't that be the pits if I was like the clairvoyant, the medium in the group like this, and I would be like, yep, something's down there. Yes. And then a squeak of a mouse happens, and you're like, yeah. Yeah, I could imagine there would be some hilarity right there, because it would be like, oh, really? Is there something there? Yeah, there is. It's a mouse. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry, false alarm. It's not a ghost. It's a mouse. My first day as a psychic. Yay!
scared of bats and rats. We've
I hope that's not my first one.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's just turn
Bats
the
and
light.
rats.
Kind of, there's no natural light now, is
Oh
there?
yeah, shall we do lights
Come over
off
there.
here as well? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
see how dark it actually gets. Oh wow.
Whoa!
Yeah, if there wasn't actually like lights
Green
from the
lights.
camera and the emergency lights, you have no natural light source down here at all.
Yeah, and then we realize how pale
That's
you really are.
crazy.
Can't see Hannah.
It's
from the
okay.
face, can
Yeah,
you?
you literally
No,
can't. I can see you.
it's okay. I'm very pale too. No judgment. No judgment. I am pale as a ghost as well. So, I look like a Twilight reject at certain times too. They didn't let me out as a kid. I was a shut-in. They threw me in under in a closet under the stairs. No, that really didn't happen, but it might as well have been.
There's a green light there, but if that wasn't there, yeah, all this would have been candlelight. And I really feel like they should put candles up for like events and stuff, because this would look insane under candlelight.
You can never have
Paul,
too many candles, darling.
Can you come forward, Paul?
We want to join the Brotherhood. Will you let us join?
No.
Sisterhood.
Ah!
I don't want to join.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
No. No.
Just before.
What was that? I was like,
Yeah, like a s
No, I didn't hear it. Did you hear it?
just before I spoke, I
yeah,
heard.
yeah.
I kind of heard like a ooh, like that, but really.
Yeah, actually, I have made some recordings. You know, very rarely when I make recordings does someone actually speak, but I've made a couple of recordings just for the fun of it, and I've heard like sound, and I've also heard or you know, like an inhale or an exhale. I've heard that. That's quite common. There's been other times where I heard the sound, like recently I just made a recording and it was bizarre. You know, there's a bunch of noise of me clunking the phone around, but then all of a sudden there was this sound. It was like a cosmic sound. It sounded like aliens were landing. It was like a you know, I was like, ooh. And it didn't sound like a truck passing. It didn't sound like any of that kind of thing. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's awesome though.
I heard a breath.
I didn't hear it. The fact that you both heard it, though.
The fact that
Make
you
a
both heard
noise for us if you're here with us.
Make a noise.
Cool, I think what we'll do, if I leave the camera on here,
Yeah.
I'll continue recording. I think if I
Wow.
put something, maybe put an EMF meter in there next to the
Wow.
the urn, and see if that goes off, and I'll put the camera on. Yeah.
Because that's the only
Yeah,
body part
that
that's
sounds
actually
good.
in
How's
here.
that? Can you go back to proper vision? I'm gonna blind you.
Proper vision.
Questions and if we get any responses.
So, Alex, what are we setting up in here, just so the
So I'm
viewers
setting
know?
the camera up so it gets the urn in shot,
Okay.
and I'll probably set a trigger object or something over
Will
there.
you?
as well.
On the urn, maybe.
Yeah, the urn, yeah.
Okay. Maybe if he comes back for his heart.
Ha! That just looks like the bottom of a toilet, but that's just me. What was that sound? Huh, a bat. A bat.
Okay. I think maybe it might even just be a simple thing of, because humans found his heart in there, didn't they? Who found the heart in there? Do we know?
His heart was put in there. He
Yeah.
paid,
50.
And then when they uncovered it, was it missing?
and then it's got So
It could just be like an animal that took it or something, or broke, because it's broken, isn't it? That might be over time, but I guess we'll never know. Okay. Worships the devil, clearly, and it really feels like they're trying to say, this is hell, we're below a church. Why would you go to that length to do that? I think they were just trying to build...
I don't know. Have you ever been to church, Daz? Like, I'm sure you've probably been to church. You can't move, you can't speak, you can't do anything, and for an ADHD kid, it is torture. So yeah. When you're older, you kind of appreciate it. You look at the woodwork and you're like, oh, the buttresses. Oh, yes, the buttresses. I love the buttresses. That, in case you don't know what a buttress is, it's literally like the scaffolding of a building, and it's shaped very similar to a boat, or and you know, you enjoy the woodworking, and then you get a little bit older and you get disillusioned and you realize a lot of these laws don't really apply to us, and they don't really need to rule our lives. You know, we should be able to make our own rules and not have to be told what we need to do. And that's what I don't agree with when it comes to religion, is that it dictates what you do within the privacy of your own home. It dictates what you think. It dictates what you enjoy, and tells you you can't be happy with what you have. Everything you're doing is a sin. And eventually you're going to realize you just want to live your life, and you want to be happy, and you want to help other people without having that constant dread over your shoulder that that's a sin, that's wrong, that's evil. Because you're going to find out a lot of those things aren't evil. It's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of what your morality is as a person. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing something wrong. So, but if you've never been to church, it's hell. It's hell. And it's full of really weird people that want to tell you about hell and how horrible it is, or how, you shouldn't drink coffee because it's the devil, or cheese is just evil, and it's just like, it gets to the point where they're not even considering the fact that we're people. We have free will, and we should be able to worship whoever we want in the way that we want. But if you find solace in church, and that is where you feel like you're in your element, and you feel supportive and loved, good. That's fantastic. We all need that. But also think for yourself and realize you are powerful in numbers, but you also are powerful yourself. And you're a lot more powerful than any church is going to tell you. Because churches will tell you you're a piece of shit. You can't do anything else without God. But I beg to differ. You can do a lot of things on your own. And you probably have done a lot of things on your own, and you've survived. So, but enough said with that.
A new religion, a new club. It was very desperate.
So what I've done as well, I've just actually put, might not want that if you can see the crucifix. I've attached it to the REM pod. So if that's touched,
They touched that crucifix.
then that's going to go off, yeah.
Yeah, alright. Well, we got the camera set up as well looking at it, so if that does go off and we're not here, we're going to catch it.
But if you're evil,
'Cause
you're
Alex
not
is the
supposed to,
camera
you can't touch a crucifix.
Men would go this way,
Yes.
and women would go this way. I think we should defy the rules. Alright, with men coming down the women's section.
He's
That
crunch,
sounded weird.
crunch,
God,
crunch,
this is
crunch.
so eerie.
What is that?
Jesus, I feel like I'm in a horror game.
You're always in a horror game. Did you think you could escape?
Yeah, so this is the secret door that they, for some reason, refuse to go into. Can you see in there?
It's locked up.
It's locked
know
up
why they
or
won't
it's
go in
fucked
there.
up.
The faces are faces of the members, and I'm just wondering why they're facing this
Yeah, and
room.
they're looking.
They're
down
looking at whatever it
the
is.
direction of this blocked off corridor. I want to know what's behind that wall.
Yeah, me too. I want to
Did
know.
a scan in there, they didn't actually poke anything
I
through.
want to know.
Like it's, yeah.
Well, wait,
Wait.
let's go up and in this way to see how up there.
Yeah, a little, it's just tiny.
Did you hear that?
No what?
No, there was like a bang down there. Very faint. Hello? Did you make a noise just now?
There's something moving. There's something moving.
It's like, it sounded like a big thud. Yeah, it just shouldn't exist, should it?
We've got the Alice box. We sometimes get some good responses on that. Shall we pop it on and see?
Well, yeah, let's
Any work
see
coming
if
through there?
we get anyone coming through on the Alice box. In terms of...
What's in this room here? What's in here?
Can you tell us what's in this room behind the wall?
Yeah, tell us what's in there. What's there?
What is this?
Oh, I hear people talking as well.
Down there, but is that your equipment?
Could be the machine, yeah. It's just, but it's funny because that's getting more active as you ask questions.
Oh.
Computer.
I doubt it.
Sees your computer down.
That's
in
what
the
we've got on down there.
Maybe there is a computer on down the way.
Is there something hidden in this room? Don't know what I'm shouting because it's just really. Oh, is anyone there?
If the original family members who own this place are here watching this video, please do an excavation behind that wall and see what's there. Because there's something there.
The cave system seemed to go on forever, and as I mentioned before, the air down here was very thin, and easily we got out of breath. But that didn't deter us. We decided to break.
So I can tell you, there's probably skeletons out there. They probably shut it off for a reason. And I think they probably have some skeletons and things that belong to the people that they murdered. Maybe some of the sacrifices, because they had to logically put them someplace, and behind that wall seems quite logical, and just like the cask of the Amontillado from Edgar Allan Poe, you have to assume if something is sealed off, that would mean like a tomb. So I'm guessing that is a tomb of some sort, and they specifically did that to preserve the body. And as you know, when you put a body in a place where there's very little oxygen and it's very cold, it is a great preservative for a body. I know that there was actually a man in Italy that actually decided to put his daughter, who had died very young. She was like 7 or 8. And he wanted to put her in the wine cellar. So he put her in the wine cellar and they took a picture of her. And she looked like she was going to wake up the next day, and it had been 3 years. So there's something to be said. Cold environments, very, very, they do wonders for the skin, apparently. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go under into a cave somewhere and preserve myself. Maybe I won't age as much. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend doing that.
Out some of our tech, including an Alice box, to see if we can get a response from anything down here.
I don't know.
Is there anywhere you want us to go?
Crunch.
Should I keep going this way?
So this is the saints and the sinners.
Yeah, this is the saints and the sinners. Which one am I? Am I a saint or a sinner? That sounds so creepy from up here. Because that's the sinner's path, isn't it?
Did we miss this?
Yeah, saints is that way, yeah.
What, left side?
Sinners is there.
Left is saint and right is sinner. Yeah.
Sin here.
So, that's supposed to be Ben Franklin, apparently.
Not resting.
I think that's supposed to be Ben Franklin.
Not resting.
Not resting.
I've never had that before.
It was actually well known that Ben Franklin traveled quite extensively. He went from France to England to the early Americas, the early colonies. He was a 33-degree Mason, which means he was the highest level of Mason that you can be. He knew all the secrets, which I think that just includes that you know the history, and you have access to all the history. It's not necessarily meaning that you're into something sinister. It just means that you have access to more information than the average Mason. So And he was involved with a lot of things. And there was a lot of mystery. Now, I actually have a special interest in Ben Franklin. As a little girl, I hated American history, but I loved learning about Ben Franklin because, you know, he was just so mysterious and he did so many things. A lot of people liked him. He was a likable guy. He had a lot of affairs. So the fact that he was probably here is a little bit creepy. But, I mean, come on. What do you think he was doing? You know, I think it just adds to kind of the charm of Ben Franklin, as far as I'm concerned, because it's like, he got around. He probably had a family in every place.
Telephone.
Probably had a family in every place.
Are you not at peace? You're not at rest?
Telephone to talk.
That's really going off.
No, he's
Should we go down?
Should we go and have a look at that?
Sinners.
I'm gonna go in the Saints way.
I'm pure.
I'm pure.
Whoa.
Records.
Why is that? Oh, that was about. Oh, there it is.
You gotta let him go fast.
It flew right at me. Look, you're hiding behind me. It flew at me.
So for those of you that heard that went, how did it, that is not a bat, okay? A bat actually, if you don't know this, there's some people that don't know this, a bat actually, makes like a little squeak, but it's really, you don't really hear it. It's kind of very similar to what whales and dolphins do. They use echolocation, just similar to that. So a lot of what you hear, you're not actually hearing all of it. Now through mechanical equipment and that kind of thing, we can actually hear it. We can isolate the sounds and hear it, but that's probably not a bat that you just hear. That sounded like literal singing. Bats not singing.
He didn't fly right at you.
He did.
You gotta let him go.
Look, you'll see it on the camera when right towards me.
Don't go to the left or right. You just go down. You just drop down.
Well, don't move because he'll go round you. If you move, he'll move away from you because you're too big. He uses
Why are you
sonar.
ducked behind you? Right, Batman, come on.
Just don't frickin' scream at it.
Stephen.
Stephen.
Ronald and Stephen.
Ronald and
Are they
Stephen.
members?
That's two names. Men's names as well.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. I
Poltergeist.
don't like that one at all.
Is there a poltergeist here?
I hope so.
I just got shivers.
What is that?
That's
Let's go and have a look. I think we'll turn that off for a second.
Yeah.
And I think we're past this on to.
He didn't fly right at you.
Okay, let me go back. Because I want to hear that.
Right towards me.
Don't go to the left or right. You just go down. You just drop down.
Well, don't move because he'll go round you. If you move, he'll move away from you because you're too big. He uses
Why are you
sonar.
ducked behind you? Right, Batman, come on.
Stephen.
Stephen.
Ronald and Stephen.
Ronald and
Are they
Stephen.
members?
That's two names. Men's names as well.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. I
Poltergeist.
don't like that one at all.
Is there a poltergeist here?
I just got shivers.
What is that?
That's
Let's go and have a look. I think we'll turn that off.
So yeah, even listening to that again, it's not discernible. There's too much echo effect to actually know what they were saying. I'm not quite sure what was going on. I don't know. It seemed to be a series of things. It sounded very childlike, and then there were some men's voices. This is, wow. Okay, this is upsetting. It sounds like an argument. There was a lower voice of a male going, and then the other voices sounded like children. They sounded like children. That sounds like children. This is very concerning. That's upsetting. I'm gonna try to.
And I think we're past this on to Eamon now, who is an EV specialist.
EVP.
EVP specialist. Where is he? Because I can't see anything. Anyway, how's it going? So let's go sit at your equipment and tell everyone what this technology is. You're not going to believe this, guys. This is insane.
What we've got here is basically, this is something called a scalar device, and it converts scalar waves, which I believe spirits could potentially speak on, and it converts that into sound waves. And so we can actually do EVP live, like real time.
So this doesn't work like a traditional
I
spirit
want
box
that.
scans radio waves. Like,
Scalar waves are a mysterious and controversial topic in scientific technology, alternative medicine. The concept of scalar waves is based on the work of Nikola Tesla and is said to have the following properties: defy physics. Scalar waves are said to defy the theory of relativity and the conservation of energy, travel instantaneously. Scalar waves are said to act instantaneously at a distance faster than the speed of light, transmit information. Scalar waves are said to be able to transmit information in addition to energy, have healing properties. Some proponents claim that scalar waves can promote physical and emotional well-being. Scalar waves are known as scalar fields, information fields, longitudinal waves, 0-point energy, and more. Wow.
what does it scan?
Basically scalar waves, so something that...
scalar.
It's kind
Scalar,
of like static
scalar,
electricity, so there's
tomato.
no radio waves in it, just white noise, and then just the signal from the spirits that come through and speak.
And you've had such amazing results on this equipment, to the point where you've been asked to do this in different environments, and even a room which emits no signal at all from within, and it's still picked up things.
We did it in a Faraday cage, so everything like a phone or a radio or anything, it would just block all the signals. But scalar, actually, if you look at what Nikola Tesla discovered, he discovered scalar, and I'll give you a quick science lesson on it, actually.
All
so
right.
if you've got point A and point B, and you broadcast a radio wave from point A to point B, you can measure it and you can track it. And you can set the frequency and it goes there. With scalar waves, A and B are there, and it will always end up here, but somewhere in the middle, and it's bidirectional, so it also connects back, but somewhere in the middle it disappears from our atmosphere completely, from our physical law. So that's why Tesla couldn't use it as a means of...
So I have heard about scalar waves, and so there are theories that certain frequencies can promote health and allow your brain to heal and do that. And I'm a big believer in music being healing, and I do believe that there are tones that can affect certain people, but I don't think it's for everybody. I think everybody heals in a very unique way. So it's kind of like the keto diet or any diet for the matter. It's just like, it's a matter of how you do it and who does it, because not everybody can say that, you know, they try this, that they can do that. You know, not everybody can say that they know how. So it doesn't work for everybody, you know. It doesn't always work. So So I don't disapprove or approve of it. I believe if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's just not meant for you, you know. It's like ASMR. I feel like I want to fucking throw something when someone is doing certain things and they're like, here, yeah, this is so soothing, isn't it? I'm like, no, it is fucking not. Stop doing that. What are you doing? That is called annoying. It's not called healing. That's called annoying as fuck. ASMR. You know, yeah.
Radio waves or anything like hertz. I think it was hertz was used instead because you can measure it. But the question is, when it disappears, that's where we get voices and they modulate. So they come from this space that is wherever it is. And that could be the multiverse, it could be anything, but when it reappears and we add white noise onto it and it's modulating, we get those voices. So we don't know where it disappears.
So it is a physical signal, but we don't know where it's coming from.
We don't know where it disappears.
That's
It will always
insane.
land there, but it leaves our physical law completely.
And this technology basically pinpoints that point, and we track that signal.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Listen. You want to call that?
Okay, yeah. Is anyone here with us? It's dripping.
Is it true?
Yeah. Is there anyone here that wants to communicate?
Yes. Turn the bass down a little bit. 'Cause it's
Okay. So this is a signal being captured from within.
female. There's a female speaking now, but I can't make out what she said. Is it Suki?
Suki, are you here? That sounded
Help.
like help.
It did sound like help.
That did sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you in trouble?
These shivers I've got.
What
Give
the?
me goosebumps actually.
Suki, do you need help?
Do you need help?
Someone speaking with her. There's
Yeah.
people with her as well.
And this is a signal coming from something we don't.
She's coming from. We can barely get anything down here. I mean,
Yeah, there's no signal down there. You can't get a radio phone signal. It's dead. So this signal is being picked up from any.
Yes, and I can say to you, I think there are some apps that do something very similar to this, and there's been people who are very negative about it. They're like, oh, your phone can't pick up all that. Your phone isn't going to do that. Well, I've used them, and I beg to differ. You need to have patience, and you need to address the spirits respectfully, kind of find out which apps work for them, because some spirits will specifically say, I like this app, or I don't like that one, or I prefer this, or I don't like this one in particular. So, they'll let you know as you go along, but it's just to know that it may be just you, like not every tool is meant for everyone. It's like a Ouija board. Sometimes it's just not going to work for you specifically, because it's not something that you can specifically, it's just not for you, and just because it doesn't work for you doesn't mean that it's not legit, that it's not the real deal, because there are some apps that actually do work. They work, all the time, and just, it's a matter of how you use them, and, if you're really, hoping to use them, it's really a matter of that. So, and some things just, just don't bash it until, just because it doesn't work for you does not mean it does not work at all. It just means it doesn't work for you. So, it's really, I think, kind of silly and very stupid for someone to be like, well, you know what, I've tried this app, and none of them work, and I've gone and been on Facebook, and they're just like, none of them work, and they're horrible, and they don't work, and it's just, it's all just a bunch of, they're all scams. And I'm going to say a majority of the apps that you're going to find are very much, they are kind of scams out there. yeah, I'm gonna say a majority of them are scams. But there are some good ones that I have actually used and they work. And the more you use them, the better they work. Because the spirit actually learns how to use the app, because they're using the app with you. They're learning just like you are. So if you tell them, so give them some patience. Don't give them patience. I don't know how you're giving them patience, but have some patience with them, because they're learning just as you are. They're learning how to use the word bank. They're learning how to show up, how to get activity to show up on your phone. They're having to learn your phone just as you put it there. So don't be that asshole that's like, why are you saying anything? Probably because they're trying to figure some shit out. Leave them alone, just let them do their thing. You're doing your thing. Let them do theirs. You don't have to explain to them quantum mechanics. You don't have to explain to them how the phone works. They know by studying, they can learn just about anything, and they have the potential to infinitely learn just like we do. So just be patient.
Something will happen, but we don't know where that signal's coming out from in the space.
Right?
It's insane. That's definitely a woman's voice. Can you tell us what's going on?
Suki, are you with us?
That's a voice.
Can you see us?
You alright? You okay?
Yeah, I'm like hearing. I'm like, is it bouncing off?
Might be the echo, yeah. Could be.
And this is the area where everyone would have orgies and, they would notch it on the wall. And we don't know if these orgies were even consensual. Like, we're dealing with Satanists, so we don't know if people were brought down there against their will. We don't know if they were even children.
Smell of aftershave or something.
That smell.
Just there, just...
Can you tell us what's happening?
So this could have been... It could be a female anyway, and obviously down here what would have happened?
It also does sound like she's moaning.
But it sounds like there's a male as well that's kind of over, like speaking alongside. She's trying to speak and then this male comes over.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So this is actually quite common. Spirits, when they come together, and especially when they come together, it's very much a social event. And just like us, we get really excited, we start talking over one another, we start talking at the same time sometimes, and so they're very much like us, and they want to, and so sometimes if I go to a place that I know that there's a lot of spirits, the good thing is to ask, is to say, if there is more than one of you, please speak one at a time. Speak one at a time, because it's really hard. I don't know who I'm talking to, and then I can't hear the first voice because I'm hearing all these 3 other voices that are going on, and you can be really polite about it, and sometimes that works, but when they figure that out, and it's just like, I know you guys get really excited about that, and I know you do, it's just, So, this is a new app that I got. I don't know if it works or not. It seems to have worked at least once. And I didn't ask a question or anything. I didn't. But open file folder. So we're going to listen to this. This is a recent recording. Any other sounds that you're going to hear. So, I wasn't talking, I was just watching this video so this makes like a recording, and it makes like I would say 10 to 20 second recording, and you're so supposed to be able to, like, you're supposed to ask a question, and then hopefully you'll get something back. But I just decided not to ask anything. I just left it on, and you know, who knows, I'm bound to hear something. So I'll just put this by the microphone here. Let's see. Yeah, is there... Did it even make a recording? Like, it doesn't even sound like anything. But here is an actual recording. So this is an actual recording. Is your name Sucky? Is your name Sucky? This is actually me. No, you can hear. Do you hear that? Did you hear that? That is just fucking weird. Like, listen to that again. Is your name Sucky? Is your name Sucky? Oh my gosh. I wish I could put that someplace, but I don't know. I'm gonna see. Open folder. This was recently, this was today. No. I don't hear anything. So, but there was definitely a response. And I was actually talking to this doll. As I said, the majority of the time when I have used this app, I just got it, nothing's happened. But that was a moan. That was a visible moan. Visible sound that you could hear there. And I was, you know, trying to get a response, and that showed up, and I thought for sure it's probably recorded in there, right? Like, I just thought it's recorded, it's not what it seems to be. So, you know, one of those things. But yeah, that's bizarre. That is bizarre. It is really bizarre. Oh my gosh. It's very bizarre. But yeah, I actually have a couple of apps. There's something that's called Transcend Theory, which does the same thing. It's a little bit slower though, like as far as that goes. So I think a lot of time I get a lot more oh wow. So oh wow. For some reason, I always get a lot of activity in my freaking my closet for some reason. So I always thought there was something over here. You know, there was a lot of other things. Obviously, you know, that's gonna show up. But this app was supposed to be kind of similar to it's supposed to be similar to Vox in a way. So yeah, it's supposed to be similar to Vox, and I have tried Vox, And I'm just gonna say the money isn't worth. I don't even want to spend $3 on it because it seems to work with Twin Paranormal and some other people that use it, but it hasn't worked for me in particular. So I can't say for sure if it's a fake or not. I know it has some results, but maybe it just doesn't mesh with my energy. Maybe it just doesn't mesh with the energy of my spirits, and they don't like it at all.
Just like a masculine, like is there a man here? And see if
Is there a man here with us?
I'm just going to go to night vision and see if the energy changes.
Is the boss here?
What do you mean, is the bus here?
Like I'm hearing like one sort of female tone, like maybe they were doing stuff to one woman or whilst people watched, or it sounds like someone's in trouble.
It sounded like an argument, as I said before. It sounded like an argument, and somebody's like trying to quiet her down. It's like, okay, be quiet. No, I'm not gonna be quiet. I'm not being quiet. You are the one that's yelling at me, you know. And he's like, oh, that's what it sounds like to me. That's just me.
It sounds like you're in trouble. Are you in trouble?
Well, this would have been like the party room, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
People having a
This
party.
was the party.
It's probably a party.
We don't know what sort of party. Was it consensual orgies with members, or did they bring people down here?
It's horrible if they didn't, you know.
Is there anywhere that we shouldn't go?
Well, that's up for debate. I don't know.
Can we join the Brotherhood?
Don't ask for that. Don't ask for that.
Yeah. I said, oh fuck.
You said temple. I actually thought I heard before with is there somewhere we shouldn't go? I thought I heard temple. But there's a lot of people speaking, so this is really busy. Yeah.
Okay, so Eamon's going to stay here with this amazing equipment. We're going to have a camera on him, and he's going to record, hopefully, some clearer EVP. But I think this is amazing, and I definitely think we'll bring this to other locations if you're down.
Yeah, definitely.
And just see what we can get out of other locations, because I think this is not something other ghost hunting teams are tapping into. And this is clearly, this is fascinating, that there's a space that we don't know about that can transmit signals. I feel like this should be like world news, this should be like more tests going on into this. But like you said, I think people who live in Asia where if aliens came down for dinner, they wouldn't care.
No, I know, yeah. Can't be much worse.
Exactly.
So, curious if this works or not. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't hear anything unusual. Nothing unusual that I can think of. But we'll see. Let's hit record again.
What's that?
It's your bat. I got you one.
Dickhead, you got me a bat? I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, little hellfire bat.
Now, is this sound going to carry down when we're trying to listen?
We can probably turn it down just slightly, yeah.
Oh, shine the light on my feet. I think I'm stepping on. I think that's the light. There it is.
You can switch on.
Or if you've got.
Are you right, Eamon, with
Yeah.
I was really intrigued to learn more about Eamon's EVP technology, but we left him on his own and decided to move on further into the caves and continue the investigation.
There must have been a reason for having two different directions and splitting everyone up. This is where apparently Suki was murdered, wasn't it?
Yep.
Sorry.
I think that was in the banquet.
Oh, that was up in the banquet.
Yeah. This is just.
Okay.
Don't know what this space actually is. She's probably been seen in this bit, I would say.
Oh, well, maybe we can we'll put this on. Suki? Is there someone called Suki here with us?
Is there?
It's the shoes.
I'm just going to put my bag down.
Yeah. If there's no Suki here, can you maybe let us know?
Ooh.
Pound.
Pound.
Can you pound on something?
Can you pound on something? Nightmare. Did you suffer down here? Can you maybe give us a bang to let us know you're here? Like, can you copy me? Was that a drip?
I don't know, but it was at the same time.
Oh yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a drip. Give me a lot of noises here we can't explain.
Right?
Can you maybe bang on the wall to let me know you're here?
Falls.
Falls.
Oh.
Falls.
Yeah, I didn't fall. Did you fall down?
Toward.
Toward.
Fall toward.
Where did you fall? Yeah. Watching.
Watching.
Are you watching us? Should we not be here? Can you whistle?
Act.
Act.
Is anyone down here with us?
What's this? It's very quiet here. Not really feeling anything here.
Sue.
Paul.
Paul Whitehead.
Paul what?
Paul Whitehead.
That's Paul as in Paul, the action, P.
144.
Paul.
There is pool of water.
Did you pull someone's hair down here?
Oh, Paul.
Yeah, Paul as in
Pearl.
Pearl.
I can't even say it now.
It's just, yeah, Pearl.
Paul. Come on, come and do something. It's too quiet. The sound just echoes. It does feel like somebody walking behind you.
Right.
Can't see a thing. What's in here? Right, where is he? I need to put that on.
Wait, was that a sound? So, I got an app, and of course, you know, I really don't know if it works or not, but, you know, kind of hurt. Some people said, you know, to be careful with it, that it actually does work, and that it's a functioning app. Okay. Let's get past the ads here. So, I'm gonna turn off the Wi-Fi and the internet. If you can kind of see it, I have actually turned it off. You can see that. Zoom in. That means that nothing can really interfere with this at all. So what I'm getting is either pre-recorded or it's I didn't record it, but it's something else. So we'll see. So this is called Dybbuk Box or something. So it actually has. Yeah, sounds like it really works really well. Yeah, works so well. So well. Yeah, meanwhile, my ADHD Let's not worry about that.
Right, that's the stream bit there then.
I will get rid of that app because it doesn't seem to be working.
Well, you didn't even touch the button.
No, I was taking pictures.
So Em just was taking photos.
And it like took it.
Took
it,
a
like,
photo of her touching the phone.
Like I was getting ready to take it and it like flashed and I was like, what just happened?
That's weird.
Yeah, I did not take that photo. I did not take
So
that.
anything there?
Nothing on it.
Pointing at the lantern. Alright, we're in the in a temple, in a sanctum, whatever you want to call it. This is where I believe if you were allowed and you were in the hierarchy of this club, I believe this is where the worst stuff happened.
Right.
You know, and only a few people were allowed back here, you know, so everyone says that the previous room that Aiden is in, gets the most activity, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of pain might have gone on down here if what people say is true. So we'll see what we can get.
Rumor has it they were trying to summon Satan.
They were also trying to summon Satan. Minnie.
Oh, fun.
Do you believe in the devil? Was someone murdered down here?
Bush.
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 So this room, this was considered hell, and directly above us, as we were told earlier, is the altar in the church.
Altar of the church.
So that was seen as heaven, and this is hell. So I mean, I would say that sacrifice and all sorts of stuff would have gone on here. Did you hear that? That was like a shuffle. Yeah. That was definite because it's so quiet. Dinner.
Dinner.
Is this where you had dinner?
Stomach.
I think that was my
Is that where you had dinner?
That's a definite.
What was the definite?
Sliding of a foot or something.
Yeah. Josephine? Are you here?
It's a bit too quiet at the minute.
I can't seem to find a space or an area that seems to be what I would say active everywhere. Everywhere is just quiet.
Got like a breeze across my face then.
Surprise.
Oh,
Surprise! What's that?
Like a bit of like somebody just blew in your face from this side.
Bones.
Bones.
do you want me to put my phone away?
Just like there.
Like a breeze?
Yeah, like somebody just blew up like that. Really quite as cold though. Just felt on my cheek there. So is this directly underneath the altar?
Yeah.
It's exactly.
Yeah, they say that if you drill upwards, you come out through the altar.
Contrition.
Yeah, once he's doing some EVP, maybe we should do our own in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think first of all, if they potentially did sacrifices down here, we could maybe.
They killed me, I think.
Study.
Study.
So that's known as a death whistle?
Jeez, that's terrifying.
Yeah, that's
Poor
known
Eve.
as
Jesus.
that's known as a death whistle. It was
Come towards us.
Did you hear that? Is someone there? Take a photograph now.
oh my gosh.
Can you come join us?
Is you?
I'm not moving. I'm literally not moving. I'm not moving.
She's not moving.
It just sounds like it's in between us. 'Cause it's not.
It might be pebbles, I don't know.
It's like someone screaming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's horrible.
My eyes keep tripping out when that gate is moving.
Did you just shine the torch then?
I got my phone out.
I don't know who was that. I just thought I saw a light.
Let me do the same action again to the phone.
It might have been a shadow from the IR, but just in case. It looked like it was in the middle of the door though.
The gate's not moving.
Are you sure?
And it's not got that death whistle.
How easy it is to do that.
It's got some weight. Yeah. A breeze ain't moving that.
Should we try some EVPs, yeah?
Yeah, let's try some EVP.
I think we just play some white noise, just some white noise over the top to enhance it. It's quite echoey in here, so it might help as well. Okay. Is there anyone down here with us? Down in the cave, come down towards us. Let me hear your voice if you can now.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Yeah.
you worship the devil?
Come on, what's this about? What's that?
What's that?
Is that just the echo?
What?
When I say anyone down here with us, it sounds like someone at the top of it or something.
Might be the echo.
It sounds like it's saying it was down here, down in the cavern below. Down here. Down below. We all came around. Down below. That's what it kind of sounds like. We were down here, we were down below, we were down here, we were down below. It's like they're repeating themselves. Is what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like to me, but that's just me. That could be. Yeah, we came here down below. We came here down below. So that's a yes. It's a yes.
How are you feeling?
I don't know, maybe go and leave some stuff down here.
Yeah.
Go back to the banquet, it's quite a big area. Maybe just call him out and see if anyone's got any.
Yeah, let's go touch base with Eamon and see what he's captured. So far, nothing. So far, quiet. Nothing I would consider paranormal. I think we heard something up the corridor at the beginning of our investigation in this room, which sounded like a foot shuffle, but you know, there are bats flying around down here, so nothing definitive, nothing weird. Yeah, we're just going to keep trying.
Been to many locations, but I have to admit this one is really strange. And I feel a little bit alone in here. A little bit like we've got a random bat flying around as well, which is not helping anything. Jesus. Okay. Where'd we go? Hello?
Hello?
Just working by candlelight at the minute. But I keep stopping because I keep thinking I can hear something, but it's also, it could well be just the natural sounds around this place as well, like the water droplets and... Okay. I didn't like that.
Can you see me?
So we can see.
Yes, we can see you, is
But
what it
that's what we're
sounded
here
like.
for, aren't we? To get stuff like that.
Yeah, it sounded like,
But
yes,
when
we
you
can
get
see you.
something so clear, I love that. Yes, we can see. We can see.
Can you see Daz, Alex, and Emily?
Shit. Right, okay.
Can you see Daz, Alex, and Emily?
Oh.
Can you see Daz, Alex, and Emily?
How's it going? What did you catch anything?
I've just recorded something now because I was going to come and find you. Because whilst you were down there, I was trying to radio in. I had something there, it's all on camera. And during the EVP, it said something about looking in the middle, but just before that, I'd seen like a shadow move. But
Really?
I asked if they could see you. Do you want me to play it to you?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
going to
okay.
tell you. But here we go. But on the EVP, I was getting high-pitched whistle, but I couldn't hear it here. It was when they were talking, which was odd.
Yeah, we did it like twice, and then once
no,
again.
this was like for a minute, it just went on.
Oh no, yeah, we did it briefly.
I know, yeah.
But
Right,
yeah,
let's see this hill you captured.
so when you were down there, and I asked if they could see the three of you,
Can you see Daz, Alex, and Emily?
yes, but then. It's broken.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you see Daz, Alex, and Emily?
Oh, I heard it then. Yeah.
Hear it like that big.
After it, yeah.
I got like, I was sat, I kept looking over there, and then I said, asked if they could see me.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, I heard that.
Play that again.
Yes.
That sounds like yes, we can.
And then there's quite a few here. What was this one? Something about being a guest.
I think they're just having a party, to be honest. Like, that's what they're doing.
That's crazy to me.
I think they're just
you
having
listen
a
to this
party.
as well. Like it's all. Let me see.
Yeah, that's
there's a
key.
So it's off this one. I can see again. In the middle. Can you see?
It's a lot of thunking. It's a lot of noise. A lot of noise.
But if I slow that down, so this was really truncated, like it just, honestly, so active. So if I slow it down.
That sounds like hello.
But yeah, it just sounds busy, but I think what freaked me out was the one with, can you see me three?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then, so I'd actually recorded it, I started to put it on, I thought I've got to take it to you just in case you're experiencing any. I did say, can you do something to E3 as well? But not harsh,
Thanks.
But they said, yeah,
Yeah,
you could try
it
and
is.
affect something, or try to do something, so I was thinking maybe the icebox, or I don't know. So I've been on there, and then I was asking if you could affect the radio, and it started to chop in and out. I've got it's on camera. I'll let you ask the questions.
Okay. So, can you see us? Do you want us to leave? What secrets were you keeping down here? We know what you've done. Does that bother you?
Before you speak, you can hear a hello. Hello, like a hello, or...
There's definitely noise.
Just... We can see. We can see you.
Do you want us to leave?
You need to stay.
harmed in this room?
Were any women harmed in this room?
Did you like coming down here?
Suki, can you say something? Suki, have you got a bad back? Because my back's hurting.
This is definitely, it's getting a little bit intense actually.
What's that,
All of it, yeah.
Wait.
That sounds like, do you remember the girl we could hear on the two-way section of what we did earlier? Like, you can hear a high-pitched voice.
It's weird though, isn't it, to think that they built this place to do such, like, all sorts of stuff.
Right?
And that's just left.
School mistress.
School mistress?
What is a skull mistress?
School.
Oh, skull mistress. I know what that is. You trying to touch one of us?
Called. Gail.
Called Gail. School mistress called Gail.
Gail?
Yeah, the name Gail.
Is Gail here? Is there a Gail in this room?
Cool Gale. No, that's not a name. Skull Mistress, Cool Gale. Meaning a cold wind. A cold wind, a gale. A storm, so to speak. So like a cold front that it's talking about. So it's talking about a wind coming through, or a cold front coming through, which in many cases when you live near certain areas, that's quite common. But in a cave, yeah, it's pretty cold. But for a gale to be in a cave, that sounds scary to me.
Around.
She's around. I'm around.
Around.
Can you give us a sign that you're here, Gail? You need to try really hard. You need to let us know that you're here.
Drive.
If there is a Gail here with us, can you try really hard to make a noise to let us know you're here? Can you whistle?
What happened to you down here?
Shouted.
Shouted.
Chance.
Chance.
Did you have sex down there?
Cold wind.
It's 11:30. Maybe.
Yes, of course she was.
Yeah, good shout, I think.
Yeah.
You just try one EVP just on the recorder, just a quick one.
Yes, of course.
Did you like to have sex in here, you pervert? I wasn't ready for that. You can't just do that.
Alex. Don't put you around the bush.
I might have got a good response on that. I'm going to play it back. You're not a pervert for wanting to have sex. No, but the way if there were like a baboon and all sorts down here.
As well. I don't think there's something sensible. You went really wrong there.
Yeah, in case it's something on here.
They're like, yes! Like that, all I heard was yes, like someone was screaming during like a climax. That's what it sounds like. Here I have to, yes, like just at the top of their lungs. That's funny.
thinking what I'm thinking what I'm gonna say.
Did you like to have sex in this cave?
She's like, no.
Hot
Stop.
chocolate.
Stop.
Let's warm up a bit because I can't feel my back.
What Eamon found was pretty impressive, but not conclusive. The sounds could mean or be anything, and the lock-off cameras that we had set up throughout the caves hadn't caught anything unless it was a bat. But we were determined to keep going, as this place is legendary amongst ghost hunters.
Mr. Bat.
Look at him. He's all tucked. He's freezing.
Should we give him a little coat?
Oh.
He's fine.
There's
He's
actually
fluffy.
2 of them in this hole.
They're fluffy.
And they
They've
actually
got lots of
sell
fluff.
little bat merch.
Look at their little feet.
Oh, that is actually really cute.
Look at their little feet together.
So
They're
it's been a big
cute.
quiet
They're
night,
adorable. I love them.
and it's now getting to about 1 a.m. And we're now going to do alone time, which is never my favourite. I'm going to go down to the main chamber where it said the most evil stuff happened, and see what we can capture down there. And these guys are going to take up other points in the cave on their own and see if it's different when there's just one person in each room. So I'm going to make my way down there now. Alright.
So you're going to go down into the...
Going to go down into the sanctum and see if I can conjure up some trouble. And if you hear screaming, please come get me.
Yeah, well, that death whistle's still down there if you fancy a blow.
Alright. Alright. Don't like it the best of times, especially on my own. I'm going to go past this motion sensor on the floor. I'm going to just hold this.
Daz is coming.
Here we go.
Sorry, I was looking behind me and I was like, what the heck, that looks like hair, and then I realized one's one of my dolls. As I said, I've noticed this lately, and it could be the fact that I'm just using my clairvoyant powers all the time, and I do it on a regular basis, that they get stronger. But I can tell you that when I'm going like this, and so this is my peripheral vision, so it goes all the way, so I can see it, can't see it, can't see it. So, like, right on the edge here is sometimes where I see things. And the first time that this happened, as I said, I really freaked out. I thought it was scary. And it was terrifying because I didn't know what I saw, but my brain saw something. It's weird. It's like my eye almost sees it, but then my brain says, you saw something, bitch. You saw something. And then I just, it gets... It's freaky, especially when you don't know what it is. But then you realize, but when you start to embrace it, you hear more things, your mind perceives more, and you see things. And for those of you, really, if you just think that we're all, over imaginative and schizophrenic, then that means the whole world is mad. And what do you think that makes you? I don't know. You're the crazy person that thinks everybody's mad. And the way it happens is we're all mad here. So, takes one to know one. You know what I mean? So, like, for one thing, I'm flattered that you think that, like, if you're a skeptic, I'm very flattered that you think that we have that much fun, for the most part, schizophrenia is not really fun. Ghost hunting and looking for ghosts and talking to them is actually a lot of fun. So it's not schizophrenia. It's not an imagination. It's not psychosis. If there is so many people that are having these experiences, how can they all be crazy? You know what I mean? Because people worldwide are having these experiences. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, it's just like they're over imaginative, they're all making things up, it's all just an experience that they've created through, the atmosphere. And in some cases, yes, it is. Sounds of other things can sound like other things and all of those things. But then you can't discredit that people have experiences, okay? Somebody has an experience. How is it going to fucking change anything that you do, okay? So instead of going out of your way, which is clear signs of a crazy person, going out of your way to tell people that they're wrong, you know, when you don't have no idea. Just, you know, let people have experiences. Because, you know, guess what? It might be bullshit to you, but to someone else, it's valuable. It's something like that. And I do not like people who just think, well, you know it's all bullshit, don't you? Guess what? This whole skeptical thing where you have to tell people like a fucking Karen that they're wrong, that's the bullshit. That's the real bullshit. Allow people to have experiences. If it's different than yours, don't be mocking them and telling them that it wasn't an experience. That is damaging. If you want to educate people, but do not tell people, do not call out bullshitters when you are talking bullshit. Okay? Because I will shut any bullshitter that comes in here. If there's anybody out there that thinks that they know shit, I will send them right on their way. I will say, you know what? You don't scare me. I'm only
into the unknown.
I am only responsible for what I do. I'm not responsible for what the spirits do to you.
Do some EVPs and some calling out, and I'm gonna go to where Paul Whitehead is seen up at the top. So
I am an angel to some and a demon to others, so
you know, when I'm playing all these horror games and stuff, that you gotta be an absolute idiot to do this.
Well, I'm the idiot that's watching you, so.
But I think like nothing really down here seems to bother me. Like it's you hear all the stories, and it's always the way. Like the most like haunted places in the world. Oh shit! Like they just don't. They never really live up to the hype. We did 30 East Drive. Caught pretty much nothing down there.
And that is the premise of every single paranormal investigator. When you investigate things, most of the time, I'm going to say probably like 90% of the time, nothing really happens. It's that 10% that you hope to get footage, that you hope will put you on the map in the paranormal community. That's what you're hoping for. You know, you're hoping that somebody will you know, say something and you'll capture something, but for the most part it's just like, did you hear that? No, I didn't hear that. Did you see that? No, I didn't see that. And then they go back and look for things, and it's very disheartening, especially when you spend hours and hours and hours, you know, waiting for something to happen and it never happens. But it takes a lot of patience, a lot of time and effort, and there is a science behind it, believe it or not, and people that don't know about it, it does require some science, some basic science, and if you don't like, if you're just there for the science, like, I don't understand people, like, there are people that actually sit there and film for paranormal investigators and they don't believe in ghosts, and then sure enough something shows up and they can't deny the evidence that's right in front of their face. So do not think that you know what you know, okay? Even what you know could be bullshit. You know, there's nothing for sure out there. There's always exceptions, and nothing is really as it seems. You don't know even what you know, you know? And sometimes the things that you know, you don't know why you know. You're not crazy. You're just special. And by special, I mean special needs.
Hellfire caves, you know, some of the stories you hear about what have happened to people, you know, every time they come here, there's a story, but I don't seem to get it, you know?
Well, the majority of this,
is anyone there?
It's not that exciting. I mean, so many people are just like... Majority of stuff is just not interesting.
When you are in an environment like this, on your own, you know, we're so used to, like, pop culture and, you know, things in the back of our minds.
Right.
So that always enters your mind when you come down to a place like this.
God, look at that. God. Just feels
Yeah.
like I'm back against the wall. Oh shit.
But that's why it requires you to have a sense of humor, because sometimes you have to laugh in certain situations, like when you're in that tensed up and you don't have a release. That's not good to have, because then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, is that a face over there? Looks like a face. It looks like a face.
It feels like something's behind you.
Huh?
Shown. Oh no, it's just the noise of the stones when you walk.
Okay, right, I've reached the sanctum. It's quite a walk. There are no bats or anything down this far. We haven't really seen anything. But yeah, pretty crazy. Oh, we've still got one of the Canon cameras in here as well. Hello. The death whistle's there. So here we are in a sanctum, 360 cam. I hope you can see my face and the surroundings. I really need to pee as well, which is not good. Really need to pee.
And you can't
It's very
go.
cold down here
and
now
you
as
can't
well.
go
Like I said,
pee
it's gone
there.
1 a.m. And yeah, I'm gonna have to move around a bit because I really do need to pee.
Try and walk. Here.
What do you do? What do you do?
Is anyone here with me?
Anybody here with me?
Is this better for you that I'm on my own?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to sit
It
still,
is.
but I really need to pee.
Before time.
Before time. See? Before time.
I wonder why they put that statue down here. There's a lot of Greek mythology linked into this place. I'm just like, I don't understand. Is anyone here with me? I'm on my own now. We can talk.
I don't like these little corridors, they're not very nice. It's quite claustrophobic. This is where. Oh, I hadn't seen.
Can you try and, you said the word lantern earlier. There's a lantern hanging up here on the ceiling. Can you try to make it move?
So, just FYI, when you're doing, when you have a word bank, it's very common for the spirit to mention certain objects in the room. It's kind of a way of them relating with your space, because they know what you see, potentially. But they also see what you don't see, so it's a little bit confusing, but they try to relate with the space that they're in, and often they will say book, read, or, you know, eyes, or things like that. I mean, I was in the dark, and I was using this app, which I know for a fact it works, and it was called Paravox, and I tried the free version, and then I bought the app, the whole one, you know, with all the features, and they've continued to update it. It's slowly becoming more popular, and especially within the paranormal communities and in the amateur investigators. They are using it, and I've recommended it with other people, and they've enjoyed it. And so you know, I take my phone and I'm just gonna say, some of us are on a budget. Some of us cannot afford a $200 REM pod or a $1,000, you know, humidity scanner or something, you know. We can't always afford it. We're not rich like that, and you know, a lot of this stuff takes money. And when someone offers you something for like $10 on Google Play, yeah, you take the chance, you try it out, and if it doesn't work, you can get your money refunded. That's all I can say.
Did you like this place? Listen back on that. Alright, listen back.
Did you like this place?
Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off.
What the heck?
Oh my. That's gotta be a bat.
But like I said, I've done alone time in many different like haunted locations, and you know, you would think caves, I'm all the way down at the very lowest point on my own, and there's nothing. I just don't think there's anything here.
No.
Did you hear that? I don't believe there's anything here.
Well, because they move around. They're not in all. So that's strange because there's something that's setting it off. It seems to be very upset. They communicate like that, but it seems to be alarmed. You can kind of hear the alarm in that screech. Now, a lot of that screech you don't actually hear, because they use a frequency that's relatively higher than our ear can actually acquire. You know, you can't exactly hear everything that is told to us, because there are tones that are lower than our ears can register. There are tones that are relatively higher. There's actually frequencies that are so high that only specific people of a certain age can hear. Apparently, there's a very high tone that only people that are from 1 to 25 can hear. After 25, you can't hear it anymore. It's a very bizarre thing. It's a very high frequency, too.
What's that?
Something is upsetting it. It's
There's
upsetting
even
the
like tiny
bats.
little faces just all in these walls, look.
It's upsetting
I didn't even
the
notice these smaller ones. They're absolutely everywhere. I wonder who they were based on. There's one up here as well. I wonder if they drew their own, or they were able to pick their own, or was that like a sort of induction into this dark club? You know, once you drew your face, you became part of the system, part of the club. That's what I'm more intrigued about, is like what this club was. Was it satanic? Were they trying to recreate hell down here? And are the stories of sacrifice, and is it all just made up, or is it real, you know?
It's hard to say, you know. I would bring a Ouija board with me, you know. You know. I'd bring my...
Oh, fuck! Yeah, it was a bat. Jesus.
But without a doubt, let's take paranormal out of it. The history and why this was built, someone had something to hide, and it is a truly remarkable place. I'd love to come back here in the day and actually do one of the tours and see it in the daytime, but as far as haunted, everyone has their experiences, but I don't know.
I don't know.
And like I said before, on other locations, when we've not caught anything, I still got to look back at the footage. You know, we may have caught something, I don't know.
Probably did,
This
but you
is
just don't
why
know.
I love Daz's Ghost Hunt, because we show the episodes where nothing happens, and I think they're just as important as evidence. That's why we're here.
Huh? Alex!
So that kind of concludes, like, the video as far as, like, what else we're gonna get from it, and like, you know, as far as that goes, yeah, that pretty much does it. I did want to get into Kelsi's, stuff, you know, her stuff, which is actually pretty cool, but this has been going on longer than I expected, and probably because I kept stopping and doing that kind of stuff that you can kind of see with here, confronting the demon that tried to possess me. I don't know why demons are trying to possess her, but that would be interesting anyway. This has gone on long enough, and I really think, you know, I'm getting tired, I'm getting hungry yet again. I thought I just ate, but, you know, it's getting around, you know, dinner time, so maybe that's the case, I don't know. But other than this has been great. I think it's been a good experience. Kind of what I'm planning on doing later is, tomorrow probably, is gonna delve deeper into actually using my clairvoyant abilities and actually looking and saying, okay, you know, what does this do? What does that do? What are we going on, you know, as far as, you know, that kind of thing, you know, but, yeah, it was a good video. Good on you, Daz. I liked your video. I liked it. Let's see if I liked... Yeah, I liked it. Actually, quite a bit. And, but it was nice to see Daz, you know, moving around and doing things that we don't normally get to see him do. Because usually we just see him sitting down and doing those kind of things. We don't really get to see him be out of the office element, out of the gaming element, which is what he's most familiar for, you know, he's most famous for. I do know that he's been around probably longer than Markiplier. I'm not trying to call you old. But yeah, you've been around, and I appreciate it because, you know, I think about last year, I kind of discovered who you were as a gamer, and if there's anything that draws me in, it's horror games. I mean, if you play horror games and you bring personality to it, I love it. I love it. I will enjoy it, and I will like the reactions that you give, and it's been a joy, and it's just been, if you can bring laughter into my life, you're considered a hero in my book. You know, my hero. No, but yeah, I just think that we need people that bring laughter and joy to the world as we know it, because we're getting more grim and dim as far as the times are going, and I think we need people that bring life and joy to our lives, because we need that. We really do. We need that, and we need to be able to immerse ourselves in laughter rather than immersing ourselves in the darkness, because laughter is really going to be our light within this dark world. So peace out, and I hope to God that that Daz doesn't really see this. If he does, that would be great, but I do and I don't. It depends, you know.